Hi there everybody, Photaku here again, and this is All Things Film. And no, we still have this. I know that's pretty improper for the subject matter we have today, but anyway, this is Planet of the Apes, or rather, War for the Planet of the Apes. Okay, so this time around, Caesar and buddies are trying to elude the remaining humans that are out there on an all-out war for the planet of the apes. And actually, you know what? That's about as much of like actual battle you're gonna get out of this movie. I don't mean for that to be a serious spoiler, and I don't mean for that to ruin the movie. This movie is great, but just go in there with an open mind. This movie is not exactly what they had advertised, especially with how much it seemed like Woody Harrelson was just about to unleash on hell on a bunch of CGI apes, which, by the way, is all done well. I mean, you'll literally get lost in this. Andy Serkis does a great job as Caesar. Third time in a row, someone give him an Oscar. It is awesome, especially for the amount of work that had to go into this. Now, essentially, what happens here is Caesar is on a vendetta to make sure that he can protect all of the apes that are still alive. And he does this by going after Woody Harrelson's dictator of a sergeant. Now, for the most part, what was showcased, he is intimidating and gruesome, but there is a bit more to his character that holds a bit more wisdom to it, as much as it is like blind fury in a case. He makes a fascinating foil to Caesar in this movie, and I definitely love also the supporting cast that we have here. Returning along, and especially just to be sure that we don't have everything too bloated, is Caesar's returning friends from the previous Planet of the Apes films. And I just gotta say, for the way that this trilogy has gone, the amount of effort that went into it, especially after that disastrous like movie back from Tim Burton, I mean, I'm just surprised that with each of these movies, it just never lost momentum. From Rise to Dawn to War, it all feels like a brilliant package and is totally worth binging through all three. It's dark, it's gritty, and yet it doesn't hit you too much with a whole issue of, I'm not sure, that same type of humanity is bullcrap, PETA type of slogan. You never really get that out of these movies so much as you understand who to sympathize for and the reasons as to why. And it never comes off as being two-dimensional, if not understanding. Kind of like whenever you have movies where you just want to see what happens when humanity is pushed to the brink of its existence, just as much as wanting to see just how much of the source material they're paying tribute to from the original Planet of the Apes. And I mean, the only part of the movie that I probably didn't like was somewhere around between second to third half. It feels a little bit slow, but in it being slow, it's also one of the most heavy moments in the movie going out of it, which is why I feel it's a different movie than what was advertised, and I do recommend it. Though I'm not sure if I would definitely go back to rewatch it, but I will say that it is entertaining. It has a brilliant payoff to watching the previous movies, and seriously, give Andy Serkis an Oscar. The stuff he did with that motion I mean, just it's brilliant. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I do recommend watching this movie. At the time of this recording, we kind of fell behind a little bit with things over here at Wassness, but I still feel it is worth a shot. I'm not too really interested on any other movies that have come out. The one I will give a recommendation for while it's still on in theaters is Baby Driver. That movie is a lot of fun, and I would totally love to give that one a review at a separate time, but I want to see what else comes up in these following weeks before August comes. And then all hope is lost until probably October, when everybody starts to remember, hey, we have a lot of movies for the Oscars, so let's start pumping out the good stuff now. But anyway, before those dark, dull times of the dead summer era, excited. Definitely give this one a 4 out of 5. Definitely go and watch it. You will not be disappointed. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Much appreciated. Stay tuned to more of Wassness videos. If you enjoy this, be sure to give it a like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.